So today we're going to go over the sncfl league. Um, it's run by Darren, who also does the WWPF league. And we're going over the Central Florida Knights. I know that we had our first game last night. I do not know the results. I haven't uploaded the file. This is the before I wanted to go over my team. Kind of go through it. If you haven't checked out our league, definitely do. The sncfl is a really fun league. There's some really good guys in it. There's a lot of content creators. Check out Shark or Darren's video. It's just very good. And bear with me, I kind of have a little bit of a cold, and I've been taking cough drops and cough medicine, and I'm choking a lot. So hopefully not too much. But so first, we're going to go over my roster. I'm ranked 14th. Last year, I'm guilty of letting the computer basically recruit for me. I don't know if I will do that. Right now I have it set that way. Recruiting is a whole nother video that I would say go check out Shark and Darren's videos because I'm still trying to learn it. It's very complicated, but right now I'm letting the computer do it. I'm just targeting the players. So first, my coach is Cruz Williams. He's my head coach. Excuse me. Look at his profile. He's done very good on my team. He's a good coach. He's a really good coach. I really like him. I left all of my coaches where they're at. So, Peter Boatwright, my offensive coordinator, he runs a power hybrid, and 335 Bob Watley. Go ahead, JP. Laugh at my name pronouncing. JP has reached out to me and told me that I pronounced the coach's name wrong that I stole from his team. So, but it's true. I'm terrible with names. But I did not pick my style right because these guys have been just great. Williams, Peter Boatwright, they're all been so good on this team. I didn't want to mess with anybody, so I left everything the way it was. I have not implemented my systems at all. Depending on how this year goes, because this year we lost our star QB to the draft, Robert McCullough, and we're going in a different direction. I want to see what these guys can do. So everything's kind of on the line this year. If they perform really well, I'm going to keep them. If they don't, I'm going to implement my own system. So they've been great. We'll see how that happens and how it stays. So on to the first roster spot here, the QB. So this year we got this transfer. He came over. I think it's under history. He transferred over from Georgia Bulldogs, which if I'm correct, I think Shark has Georgia, but it may be a different Georgia that he has. I don't know. He came over. I was not going to start him. My plan was to start Timothy Ramos. I'm a big fan of Timothy Ramos. I think he's going to be really good. I just wasn't sold on his arm. And Janikowski comes in with his 92 arm, and I was like, I'm going to start him. So right now, we're going to go with him. And Grant Brewer, he's not too bad either, but again, I'm not sold on his arm either. So it's kind of going to flip here with these two. I really like Timothy Ramos, and there's a very good chance that at some point in time, Timothy Ramos is going to start. But we'll see. Hopefully, Janikowski can keep that job. Our running backs. I like Ricky Hall. I played Ricky Hall last year. He was very good for me. I really, really used him a lot. I still stick by him and like him, but he doesn't seem to grab the yards that some other guys will get. So Bo Cross, I really, really like Bo Cross. I think he's going to be really good. He did not play last year. Edison McLaughlin, we are redshirting him, so we're not going to worry too much about him. Charles Crawford, he's a senior. He's not really played much either. He's good, though. I mean, I've got some good running backs. I really like their speed. Crawford has really good speed and may end up playing at some point. But I think Crawford's hands really bothered me, and I just didn't want that. I wanted to implement Cross and Hall. Excuse me. So at fullback, we've made some changes at fullback this year. We brought this guy in. He didn't play last year, if I recall correctly. So we brought Keemon Elmore in. Joseph Gentry played last year. I'm not sold on Joseph Gentry. I don't really feel like he's what I'm looking for, but he's definitely good. So Ali Orfont, we converted him. He was a halfback, and I converted him to a fullback, and I think he's going to be better. So he is definitely probably the starter from what I remember me setting in the depth chart. Guards, I redshirted these two guys. And I recall correctly, I went with James Snyder. And I went with, oddly enough, George Madden was kind of I didn't know what I wanted to do with him, but I think I went with McGahee. I have to check my depth chart after all of this because we've got so many. I don't know if I'm going to go through all the players, but Chidobe Jones, he is not one of my starters, but I really liked his pass block and run block. Olivier, I think he's starting. He had pretty good pass and run block. Linkois, boy, I am going to butcher these names, guys. Really going to butcher them. Center. I remember I took Christopher Williams and I redshirted him. Then we've got James Meredith was starting. He's just really good. He's a really good player. He's going to be a center you guys need to watch out for because I really do believe he's going to be really good. Tight ends. Easterling is my starting tight end. He's been my starting tight end. He's just fucking good. He's really, really good. He's not as quick as you would like at tight end. And I took Rex Thomas this year and I moved him from wide receiver to tight end because I feel like Rex Thomas, when Easterling is on his way out, Rex Thomas might win this position. He really might do it. And I think I did the same with Whalen. I don't know if Whalen was here as tight end last year. So here's some of the guys that I'm really, really high on. Lance Jackson was my first recruit. And I'm pretty sold on Lance Jackson. I like him a lot. He was our first recruit. He's just a 4-star player. He's just really good. Then we got Daniel Rubin lining up next to him. Rubin's pretty damn good too. I have 2 really good wide receivers. 3 if you count Turner, because Turner plays a lot too. So we've got 3 solid wide receivers, and it just goes on. We've got a great receiving core. That's one thing this team has got plenty of is receivers. We've got John Castle, who makes me think of Frank Castle, the Punisher. Jamie Craven is our number 1 corner. He's good. He's definitely good. I would like him to be a little bit quicker. That's why this Adam Dodd is definitely, I think, going to be pretty good at some point. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Linebackers. This team produces some solid linebackers. No way of even getting around it. This team has some good linebackers. Michael Panjoa? I've heard Darren mention his name. Darren, you probably know his name better than I do. And he's my linebacker. This is the guy you guys want to look out for. He's the guy. He's on his senior year. This is his last year with us. When he hits the draft, he's the guy you want to look out for. He's big. He's really big. He's a good player. He's got high tackle, great speed. He's got really good strength. I mean, overall, he's a good player. We've got some really good players, though. We've got James Connors is really good. Michael Houle is really good. David Butler came over last year as a transfer. He hasn't played, but he's going to get some playing time this year. He's pretty solid, too. I like him. And I have a ton of guys I had to redshirt at that point. DT, I love my defensive tackles. I'm not even going to deny that. I love defensive tackles. So Lowered ballot. He's got some nice strength. I really like him. He's got really good strength. I'm more into strong tackles than I am tackling tackles. So we'll see what they do. Defensive end. Have some pretty good defensive ends too. Scott Chisholm is pretty damn good. I mean, like, the defenses I want to play, you got to be able to tackle to play these defensive ends, and I don't think any of these guys could. So, safeties, we've got some pretty solid safeties. Melvin Arthur. His tackle needs a little bit of work. Drayton's playing too. I think Drayton's a freshman. Yup. Strong safety. Beard was one of my high recruits, 4-star, and I redshirted him. He will definitely be playing next year for sure. He's going to be a fucking star. He's really good. But I've got such a depth right now, I'm going to redshirt him. I'm going to redshirt this punter. Punters and kickers, who gives a damn, right? Who gives a damn? So let's go back and take a look at the depth before I see what the results of my first game were. So yeah, I have Janikowski starting over Ramos, but like I said, I was going to switch that around. I've got Hall starting with Crawford underneath him. Oddly enough, I have Gentry starting, and I could have swore that I put Orfon in there, but apparently we're going to start Gentry. So we've got Jackson at 1, Turner at 2, Rubin at 3 in the slot. We've got Easterling, who's just a stud. Thomas playing tight end 2. We have Olivier at left tackle. We've got Snyder at left guard. Meredith at center. McGahee at right guard. And Prentice at right tackle. Defensively, we had Ballard at DT1. Cordell at DT2. Chisholm at right end. Salas at left end. Pandajoa at middle linebacker. He's going to be a steal for whoever gets him in the NFL. Connors at middle linebacker, lining up next to him. Alford at right outside linebacker. Hull at left outside linebacker. We've got Little John playing cornerback. It's spelled like Little John as if he was like in, Robin Hood, but all I hear is Little John going, yeah, yo, which I can't do right. But we've got Wayne Keene, Jimmy Craven at nickelback, and John Castle, Frank Castle's illegitimate brother at nickelback 2. James Meldez, freaking JP, I need you here to answer this for me. James Meldez at strong safety, and Terrence Drayton at free safety. So yeah, I think we've got some pretty good guys. So let's see what happened. Let's see the results here. Let's see what Darren did to our team. Let's go ahead and let's load the file. See what we did. We will go to Central Florida. And we are 1-0. That's looking good. We played Oregon State and we won 38-3. So we're going to take a look at the box score here. So it looks like we won pretty big against Oregon State. Janikowski threw for 2 touchdowns. He was sacked twice out of 18 attempts. Crawford got 39 yards. Hall got 25. Looks like Reuben Turner both got over 70 yards. The TD out of Reuben. Wow, look at this. Salas got 4 sacks. Jesus, Chisholm got 4 sacks. Strickland got 2. Hull had 8 tackles. Pretty big game on the defensive side for sure. Really big game on the defensive side. Let's take a look at the roster here. Actually, what I meant to do is to take a look at the dashboard. Doesn't look like... Oh, this is not good. Ricky Hall's hurt. 8 to 12 weeks with a broken wrist. That sucks. So, yeah, Ricky Hall's gone for a long time. So, yeah, that's going to be the worst part of all this, is losing Ricky Hall for 8 to 12 weeks. I had that nice combination with him in there. So, yeah, that's pretty much pretty much it. We play Michigan State next week. That should be a pretty good game. Our schedule's not too crazy, but the Michigan State game should be pretty interesting. For sure. Where are they ranked? 27th? Yeah, it should be an interesting game. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. And thanks guys for watching. And definitely like and subscribe. And check out the league if you can. sncfl.